Hello, hello. Welcome back to Chiquis and Chill, your favorite podcast. I know. First and foremost, I want to say thank you. A huge shout out to all my listeners. I love you guys. Honestly, I'm so grateful. Thank you for coming back each week to grow, to learn, to just, embrace life. So thank you. I'm so grateful. Today's episode is going to be about the power of thinking. Our minds are so powerful, guys, and our thoughts can attract really great things into our lives, but they can also attract really negative things and negative energy. And that's what I want to talk about today, because sometimes I think we forget how much power we really hold. Alrighty, so we've talked about the power of words. Very important. I always say, speak words of life and not of death. And want to plant a little seed in your mind, because I catch myself doing this, which is why I wanted to talk about it here on the podcast, the power of thinking, because just the way that with words we can bring things into existence, also it actually starts with a thought. Sometimes I have to catch myself when I'm having a bad day or when I'm thinking something negative. For instance, my husband, he's on the road right now. He's working. He's on tour with Becky. And there's a bunch of girls around. You know what I mean? A lot of her dancers. And the thing, sometimes I could be totally fine. And all of a sudden I think, oh my gosh, like what if he sees a girl and he starts liking her and I just start thinking some dumb shit, And I literally have to say, Janae, you know who you are. You know who he is. You have to trust your relationship. And I'm like, I choose to erase this negative thinking. And I'm going to think, my husband loves me. I love him. We are safe. We are protected. He loves me. I know it sounds silly and it's like, okay, yeah, really, it's not that easy. No, it's not. It's not that easy. But the more you practice it, the better it gets. Again, you have to practice. Practice makes perfect. So it happens to me. So before you even vocalize anything, it starts with a thought. So that's what I'm talking about. This is the whole reason behind this episode. I know we all have negative thoughts about ourselves. Physically, there's things that we wish we could change. I think that's every single person on this earth. Even if you think she's the most confident person, he's the most confident person, there's always something that we wish we could change or we wish we had. It's just a part of being human, I think. But we can also find beautiful things to think about ourselves, beautiful ways to give ourselves words of affirmation. And you guys know, I always say this, and some people, like my brother, make fun of me. He's like, dude, you're always so damn positive. Yeah, I want to be. That's why. But it's not always like that. There are times when I wake up, especially around my period, and I'm just like, oh my God, I feel so bloated. I feel so fat, blah, blah, blah. I think we all go through that. I'm sure you all can understand. And on those days, I really do. I'm like, I choose to eat better. I'm like, okay, I know I'm thinking this, but how can I change this thought? Well, by doing something physically as well that's going to make me feel better. Instead of having the damn cheeseburger, with bread, like the other day, Emilio wanted to go. I know I'm always talking about Emilio, right? But he wanted to go to In-N-Out. And I was like, yeah, I'm down to go to In-N-Out. I didn't get the fries and I was feeling really bloated. My period was like 7 days from coming. And I don't know about you ladies. Sorry, guys. It's not for you. This part isn't for you. But I feel like as I'm getting older, I feel like my PMS comes a lot sooner, like 10 days before. So anyways, it was a really just not a good day for me physically. So I made the choice. I said, okay, I know I'm feeling this way. I know that I'm thinking all these negative things, but I have the power to choose. So I'm going to go to In-N-Out to please my man. But instead of having a cheeseburger and fries and a drink, I'm only going to order a double with just one cheese and lettuce wrapped. And I felt so good about myself. And I was like, I'm going to make better choices. And I did. And I felt better because I go through it too. We all have these thoughts. If you don't stop it in its tracks, if you don't choose to think something differently, it's a muscle that you need to work. It's going to take time. But if you don't choose it, that thought is going to become a snowball, and the thought's going to get worse and bigger and bigger and bigger. And then you're going to vocalize it and you're going to bring it into existence. So that's why I'm telling you, yes, it's important to speak positive words and be positive, but it starts with a thought. And that's where I want us to, and I want us, because this is also a note to myself, I want us to practice this as much as we can every day. As soon as we feel that negative thought about anything come into our head, we need to stop it and we need to replace it with a positive thought, with something beautiful. There's always something to be grateful for. And I talk about it a lot. I talk about it in my stories. I talk about it here on the podcast. Having an attitude of gratitude takes you like, it just makes you feel more grateful. It makes you feel happier when we start looking at the things that we do have. Because we live in a society that we want more, more, more. That person has that purse. That person has that house. We are filled with it every freaking single day on social media. So we think we want those things, but in reality, we really don't. Like, we have to figure out what really makes us happy and look at what is in front of us, what we do have. We have a roof over our head. We have a partner. We have a sister. We have whatever it may be. There is always something to be grateful for, and there's always something to look forward to. And I think the more we do that, the easier it is to think positive thoughts. You have to do it every day. It's not just going to be, you're going to feel silly. You're probably going to be like, Chiquis is crazy. Trust me, I know it's not easy. It takes time, but it is our choice. It is our choice. And the more we choose to create positive habits and think positive and speak positively to ourselves in our head, the easier it gets and the easier life gets. But again, it's a choice. And with choices, we create our path to our destiny. It's choosing these things every single day. Be kind to yourself. We talked about that. I'm reading my notes, guys. Do something good for others. That's another thing that helps you just think positively. These are things that I wrote down that help us feel better, help us think positive things, is when we take ourselves out of our own thoughts and we start thinking also of others and helping others and how can we better the world? How can we be of service? All of that brings positive energy, positive thoughts. Do something. You know what? When you're having bad thoughts, this is another thing. When you're having bad thoughts, sometimes what helps me is I love to read. I'll read. It doesn't even have to be a whole, like 5 chapters. I'm not one that's like, oh, I'm going to freaking read 60 minutes a day. I wish, but I don't. When I'm having and I'm thinking bad things and I'm feeling down, I'll grab a book and I'll read 1 chapter. And I'm like, you know what? A book that makes you feel good. It could be a love story. It could be fiction, nonfiction, self-help book. Just something that just feels good, that brings joy to your life and gets you out of your own head. Also taking a nice warm bath of just being present and listening to like meditation music. I'm like, okay, reciting positive things in your head, laughing, watching a comedy. I love to a lot of people are like, oh, I don't watch TV. I really don't watch TV. I don't like to watch the news. None of that. I'll watch a good show that's going to make me laugh, that's going to get me out of like my everyday life. I'm like, you know what? I need to relax. I'm going to sit down. I want to like watch a good Adam Sandler movie. It's one of my favorites. All of that will help definitely feed that positive side of your mind. I also want to give you guys an example just quickly because I like to use my life as an example and things that I have attracted with positive thinking. I attracted my Grammy. So many people thought that I couldn't do it. I'm not even going to lie. The first time I got nominated, I was like, oh shit, am I ready for this? Like, I didn't believe in myself as much, but I attracted it, put it on my vision board. I thought about it all the time. I'm thinking about my 3rd Grammy right now, guys. And I think about it and I pray about it every single day. And I thank the Lord. I'm like, God, thank you for my 3rd Grammy. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. I'm already manifesting it. I'm already seeing it. I know I might get on some people's nerves. I'm not always positive, guys. Believe me, I have my days. I have my moments. I can be grouchy. And there are times when I like snap and I have to apologize. And I'm like, Emilio, I'm sorry that I said this. I'll apologize to Kim, to my assistant. You guys met her. Like, I have bad days as well. But I don't let those bad days take over everything I want to accomplish in life and all the things that I want to do. And that's why I'm saying it's a muscle. It's like working out. It's like doing something, practicing it is more and more and more will get easier. So those are good examples, right? The Grammy and, when I wanted to be on Latina magazine, I manifested it. I attracted it. Like, it works, guys. The more you do it, the more you believe it and you know that you deserve good things. We all deserve good things. Now I'm like, it is my God-given right to be happy. It is my God-given right to be healthy. But it's not only thinking, it's also putting work into it, action behind it, like little things here and there. It's not just, okay, I'm just going to think and it's going to fall out of the sky. Like it does not work like that. You still have to work towards things and always just affirm it as much as you possibly can. Claim it, claim your happiness, claim that relationship. It's another thing, Emilio. It's another person, another thing that I attracted. But I've also have attracted, not many times, but I have attracted not so good things. For instance, in the earlier years of my performing, I I was always very, very afraid of like my wardrobe having a malfunction or ripping on stage. And I would like think about it so much. I'm like, oh my God, like, what if it break? Like, cause I have a big butt, you know what I mean? And I was a lot bigger then. And I liked wearing really tight clothes. I still do. But, anyways, even then, when I was 206 pounds, and I was like, dude, I'm fucking sexy and I want to wear tight clothes. But I would always think, anyways, I would always think, it's gonna rip. My clothes is gonna rip. Like, what if I'm on stage and something happens? What the hell would I do? Well, it happened. And I'll never forget because it was one of my favorite outfits and I felt like I looked so sexy in it. It was open from the front. It was like leather and whatever. And I was dancing. And then all of a sudden I feel the from like my ass. I started feeling like a little bit of wind. And I'm like, oh, and I had a hole. Like a pretty big hole. You couldn't miss it. You couldn't hide it. Like I was like, oh my gosh. And it happened while I was performing. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I kept thinking it. And it happens because that's the power of thinking, guys. I mean, granted, shit happens, but I feel like I called it into existence because it didn't happen the first 50 times that I performed. I just kept thinking about it. And that's when I learned, I'm like, you know what? Everything is going to be okay. Everything is going to happen the way it's supposed to happen. That's why when sometimes I'm like, oh my God, like at a live performance, I've thought like, I don't want to fall. Now I don't even think that. I'm like, I'm going to be fine. I'm strong. I'm stable. I say all these positive things and I think them. And thank God it hasn't happened. I hope it doesn't. But like that taught me to stop thinking that negative thought because I'm attracting it, And I wouldn't even say it out loud. I would just think it in my head. That's when I'm like, okay, the power of thinking is insane, guys. It starts there. It starts in our thoughts. Negative thoughts always creep in. It's normal. It's human nature, but we have to reverse them. We have to stop them. We have to stop ourselves from thinking and be like, no, this is not going to happen. I'm fine. There are times when I even think about my siblings. I think about Mikey, who's like 33 already. I don't know. My brother. And I'm like, oh my God, like hopefully he made it home. And like, and I want to call him. And I'm like, no, I can't think that way. I'm like, God, he's in your hands. He's protected. All my siblings are protected. They're fine. They'll make it home. Their homes are protected. Like I'm constantly praying, constantly sending positive thoughts and positive words to everyone that I love because I love people so much that I'm like, I don't want anything bad to ever happen to them. So I get it. It happens, you guys, but we have to just soltarnos and trust. We have to trust that everything is going to happen the way it needs to happen. Everything will fall into place. Everything will settle where it needs to settle. Even when something bad happens in our life, guys, it will teach us something. It is meant to teach us something, to make us grow, to make us mature. Even those painful things, it could be literally anything. There's always a positive message behind it. Always. So many things have happened in my life, and I have chosen to get something positive out of it. It could be literally anything. The point is, guys, it starts in our thoughts. The more negative thoughts that we think, that we speak, it definitely will make us sick. It'll make us anxious. It'll make us depressed. So we need to practice thinking power thoughts, positive power thoughts, good things for our soul that are going to make us happy, and put actions behind those thoughts. If you want to bring anything to existence, if you want to accomplish something, it's taking steps every day towards it, but it starts with our thoughts. And when you want to think something negative about yourself, like always know that there's something beautiful and something positive that you can say about yourself. At least one thing, if not three. And talking about, positive thinking and things that I'm wishing into existence right now, I am focused more on my personal life. In my career, I feel like, thank God, I've been able to accomplish so much. I didn't think in the very beginning that I would be able to accomplish everything that I've been able to accomplish. And thank goodness I changed my thinking, I changed my habits, and we've worked really hard. So I'm really excited, very happy, very grateful, very content when it comes to like my career. Now I want to focus more on like my personal life, like really just nourish Janae. And, Chiquis is good. Very proud of what we've built with Chiquis, but Janae, I feel like needs some attention right now. So I feel like next year is going to be a little different. I'm still going to be busy. I still want to do a lot, but I just feel in my heart that I really, really want to pray and wish and bring a very healthy, beautiful, compassionate, smart baby. That's kind of what I'm like. I've been praying about it. I've been asking God. And in my meditation, I'm like, okay, like I know a part of me is scared for so many reasons, but I think I've healed the miscarriage part of it. And now I feel like I want to get more signs. I want to get my body prepared for that. And I know that that's going to change things, but I know in a really amazing way. So that's kind of like what I have on my vision board right now, you guys. It's more of like the personal, the things that I want to do on a daily basis and make a difference. I don't know. Something is happening and shifting inside of me, and I don't really know yet exactly what it is. I just know that Janae's calling me, and I want to be more Janae next year. I know that might sound weird, but anyways, I just wanted to share that because like you guys, it's not like, oh, Chiquis already has it made and Chiquis has everything she wants. Like, no, I've worked very hard and I'm very happy and I'm very content, but I feel like for the last 10 years, I've been working my ass off for my career and to set Chiquis up that I feel like we're good in that area. Now I want to just really focus on this other area of my life. Anyways, I thought it was important to let you guys know that I'm still every day, wishing, praying, affirming, claiming, all of it. It's a part of our life. It's going to be a part of our life for the rest of our lives. So, yeah, that's that. And if you guys have any tips as well on how to be more positive, think positive thoughts, I would really love to hear from you guys. Leave it in the comments, please. I love to hear from you guys. I love to hear that you guys love the podcast, but I also love your feedback. If you have any questions, if you have any concerns, I like to open it up and let you guys know that I'm here to answer any questions that you guys may have. So please feel free, leave it in the comments. And yeah, let's share knowledge. Let's share our experiences because that's the way that we learn and we grow as a community. And here on Chiquis and Chill, that's what we're all about. Positive energy, and we are a familia. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Thank you guys so much for listening to me. Thank you for being a part of my therapy as well, letting me and allowing me to speak to you into your heart, into your mind, into your life. I appreciate you very much. And I don't say that lightly. I'm very grateful. I'm grateful for my podcast and I'm grateful for you, my listeners. So guys, let's be positive. Be aggressive. No, be positive. Be positive, guys. Be positive. We got this shit. Life is tough, but we are tougher. It's one of the quotes I made up a long time ago. Anyways, all right, guys, I love you. Have a beautiful day, okay? Keep your head up. We got this shit. Mwah. Bye. Do you need advice on love, relationships, health, y más? I'm so excited to share with you that my Chiquis and Chill podcast will have an extra episode drop each week. I'll be answering all your questions. Just leave me a voice message con todas tus preguntas y yo te las voy a contestar personalmente. All you have to do is go to speakpipe.com/Chiquis and Chill podcast and record your questions. I can't wait to hear from you. This is a production of iHeartRadio and the My Cultura Podcast Network. Follow us on Instagram at My Cultura Podcast and follow me, Chiquis, that's CHIQUIS. For more podcasts from iHeart, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast.